Good blessed Wednesday evening, June the 16th, 2021. It's about 6:45 p.m. I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you are the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter even whether you like me or not. It doesn't matter whether you like my YouTube channel, which is Raymond, Raymond Ivy. I encourage everybody, whether you like me or not, whether you give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Not just to get likes or dislikes, not just to get criticism or getting uplifted, but to subscribe to it to get some wisdom and knowledge. I know I don't have it all, but I have some, and I'm a person that's not afraid to exercise my First and 14th Amendment rights. I want to show y'all something right here. This is a sign that I had made because on June, most of you all that watches my YouTube, y'all know that my 45-year-old son, Brian, B-R-Y-A-N, Lamar, L-L-A-M-A-R, John, J-O-H-N-S, he was found hung in Carbondale, Illinois, on the third floor in the hallway of an apartment building. I believe it's the Gaslights Apartments in the 400 block of Oakland Street. On the around the corner in the same building on the Sycamore side of the street, same people owns it, the Gaslight Apartments. On the third floor, his 3 t-shirts was found. On the second floor, on the 400 block of Sycamore, his mask was found on the second floor. On the first floor, the law enforcement claimed that they believe that he broke out of a fire extinguisher glass and took a fire extinguisher out of that, off the 400 block of Sycamore, off the first floor, broke the glass, and then took the fire extinguisher around the corner on the third floor of Oakland. And I guess it's just, I'm assuming they said after he broke that for no apparent reason, logical reason, and just took the fire extinguisher and took it up on the third floor, set it down on the third floor landing, took a belt. First they told me it was a size 32, which they said it was 42 inches. Then when I was making my YouTube showing the 42-inch belt, now they said it's 46, so I measured to 46. It wouldn't make a difference if it was a 96, but the manner that they claim he hung himself, if you see my YouTube and watch it real well, you'll know he didn't do it. Then, not only that, after I keep on going down there investigating, the one sergeant that's assigned himself, his lieutenant, his captain, his chief, his city councilman, nor the mayor, which has authority over him, none of them didn't assign him. 6 days later, my son was allegedly found hung on the 19th of March, 2021. And this sergeant that has the investigation, he said he assigned himself to the investigation on the 25th of March. How convenient. When I came down on the 24th of March, went to the crime scene, videoed it, and let it be known, I doubt very seriously that my son committed suicide. But what I want to just say is, when y'all see this here, it's not just for my son, Brian. God allowed my son Brian's life to be taken, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. But I want you to know, just about a week ago, me and my 2 young daughters was down there doing some more investigation. Matter of fact, it was on the 10th of March of this year, 2021. And so happened God allowed me to find a female that found my son's wallet around in the 900 block of Sycamore on some stairs. Ain't that something for a person to commit suicide? His wallet is about 4 blocks away. His t-shirts is on the 3rd floor around the corner. His allegedly mask, around the corner on the 2nd floor. A fire extinguisher that he allegedly broke the glass. But if you looked at his hands like I did, the only thing he had was a straight cut on the back of this one here. Money balled up in his hand. You see what I'm saying? But yet they said he committed suicide. But this is what I want to say. I'm talking about all races of people. You see, it's 3 deaths that I know of that happened in Carbondale, Illinois, and all of them, they either said, 2 of them they said was suicide, and the other one they claimed that the guy went into the woods and it was cold out there and he died of hypothermia. But Molly Young, who is white, Praveen, I can't pronounce his last name, but it's started with a V, who was an Indian, and my son, Brian Lamont Johns, who was black. Now, all 3 of the families, me and the other 2 families, we see that there's something wrong with the investigation of the Carbondale, Illinois Police Department. They claim Molly's was suicide, they claim my son Brian's was suicide, and they claim Praveen's, he did it to himself. He ran out in the woods. You see, I wasn't able to afford to get another pathologist. Hey, how you doing, brother? All right. I wasn't able to get my son, he got hung down there in Carbondale, Illinois, and I got my YouTube channel. When you ever get a chance, check it out. It's Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D, I-V-I-V-Y. And I've been protesting down there about it.
Get that from you, bro. Yeah,
yes, sir.
About that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Get that from you.
All right, thank you. But now, these 3 people, the police saying that their investigation, let me show you how they investigation with my son. Now, when you're investigating any type of death, normally you would have a CIS, you know what I mean? You have a forensic scientist come out. But now let me show you how this sergeant that put himself in charge of this investigation of my son. Not only when he showed me the belt where my son supposedly hung himself, but I showed y'all in one of the things, ain't no way he could have did it himself. Then his hand is balled up with money in it. You see what I'm saying? Then he showed me a picture where my son got blood on his gym shoes. In the straight cut here, it was just a straight cut like a razor. I don't know where that came from, but you can't break a glass either like this or like this and get a straight razor cut. Then he showed me the back of my son's gym shoes, and the same sergeant who found my son's body, the same sergeant that ended up coming March 11, 2021 to go and because they said my son was having crisis at the Samaritan house in Carbondale, Illinois. My son didn't want to go with him and the officer. The lady had to call the ambulance. He must have been afraid of the sergeant then. But this same sergeant, I seen a picture of him in the background where they took a picture with my son hanging up. But then the sergeant showed me, the investigating sergeant showed me the beat sergeant that found my son's body. Not a forensic scientist, not an investigator, but a beat sergeant, showing the sergeant having a footprint in some clear dirt and showing me the back of my son's gym shoes. He said, don't they look alike? Now, how can I tell when my son's gym shoe that they took a picture of and then a footprint right there that looked real fresh? The sergeant could have put them on himself or had somebody else that they helped kill my son and hung him up there, could have had them put it down there. It's strange that the sergeant found his body. The sergeant was the first one on the scene with his body. The sergeant found a footprint out there. But what about the forensic scientists? Why did the sergeant find his wallet 4 blocks away? You know why? Because all they want to try to determine, the same like they did Molly, the same like they did Praveen, that it's a suicide or self-inflicted, or they was the cause of their own death. But I'm going to tell you, all you people that lost people and know that this Carbondale Police Department is not, either they incompetent or they trying to cover up to hide murders and try to make them out of suicide. We have to get together as a people. I'm talking about all nationalities. Call your preachers out. I don't care if you Muslim, Moorish American, or Christian, Catholic. Call your preachers, your leaders out. Call your representatives out, and let's all meet a peaceful protest, a peaceful speaking engagement to let them know that we want not just the Carbondale Police Department, we want the Federal Bureau of Investigation to come down, the FBI to come down. You see what I'm saying? Because I know what a crooked and an unjust law enforcement is, and I had it down there in Charleston, Missouri. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it's gonna take, y'all. You got some of them having some of the citizens to say negative things, but see, I don't want the citizen to tell me nothing what the police told them. You see what I'm saying? All they got to do is Google it up. You see what I'm saying? It's simple. The police telling them, the same beat sergeant they said telling them that the case is closed. If it's closed, then when we filed for the Freedom of Information Act, don't say that you can't get it. You're denying people the Freedom of Information Act because you said that the investigation is not complete. You can't complete it because you can't find out a way to cover up this here suicide. You ain't gonna cover up my sons. And I speak up for Molly and Praveen and anybody else that's been unjustly treated in Carbondale, Illinois. It's time to get the feds down there, y'all. It's time to talk to your politicians in Springfield, y'all. It's time to talk to your politicians in Washington, D.C. You see how Trump people did? They went and clammed the wall because Trump lost. You see what I'm saying? I'm hoping ain't none of y'all, I mean, if you're Trump fans, cool enough, but if you think what the people did on Wednesday, January the 6th, 2021, if you think that's good, then I don't want to march with you because what they did was wrong. You see what I'm saying? Whether I like Trump or not, whether I like Biden or not, I still don't have a right to go climb that wall. Peace be still.